Can the mic hear me now? Okay. Weird. Cool. I think I'm gonna point this at me. I think that's how mics are supposed to work. There we go. Cool. This is Sarah. It's Friday. That means it's kiddie pool day. It's also the day that I'm gonna actually start putting things in my luggage. I know I said that yesterday. I lied. I had like, I don't know, 100 miscellaneous things to do that kind of creep up on you like that, all weird like. And I tackled about half of them on the stream and then a few more before we went out last night. I saw The Matrix last night. Like the original Matrix. They had like a limited screening at one of the movie theaters here. So me and my flock, I guess, me, Matt, Tony, and Mark went to see it, the late showing. And I don't think I've seen that movie in probably a decade. And I've never seen it in the theater of all the like hundreds of times that I've watched it. And I was happy to see that it held up to my childhood memory of it. And I think, honestly, like no movie has had more of a profound influence on my development as a human being mentally than probably that movie and Blade Runner and The Fifth Element. Those were like the trifecta of like Sarah becoming a thing. And it was funny because like I think the things that had an impact on me when I was a kid were completely different than the things I noticed last night when we watched it. Like certain lines hit home in a different way than they used to. Or I had never noticed them before, so it was kind of a neat thing to compare notes with child Sarah from my past and see how it's different and the same. And I was still sad when Mouse died. I was like, no! That was my first screen name on AOL. Remember AOL? My first screen name was The Matrix Mouse. True story. Back when I was like 12. Yeah. And Mark's here too, by the way. Mock's here. He's doing his stuff. It's a solder day for sure. I'm still doing this. Remember from yesterday? As you can see, the bra that I was toiling away with, making all these stupid parts for, is finally assembled. The thing that I forgot that I needed to do was make a controller board for it. The bra on the right side of the screen has a little piece of perf board with a motor controller on it in the middle. I don't know if you can even see that. The one in the middle, the bra in the middle, it does not. You can kind of see between those two mirrored, reflecty boob pieces, there is not a circuit board B, so I'm gonna have to make one of those. I just put the order in at Pololu now. The nice thing about living down the street from Pololu, here, I'm gonna do a weird branding thing. No, they didn't pay me for this, but Pololu, like, they're located in Vegas, and that's like probably one of the weird perks of being a roboticist in Las Vegas is that we have a robotics company down the street from us and we can pick up our parts same day. So I'm hoping that they get my order processed in time, because if I don't get the part picked up today, then I'm probably not gonna have it, and I'm like, fucked. So my fingers are crossed. My fangus. Mark's going out to run errands here in a second. He's making tacos tonight. Not that that has anything to do with like packing or anything, but I know there's gonna probably be a hard stop regardless of how the stream goes. I know my streams are always like stupidly long. I don't know how I streamed for like close to 5 hours yesterday. It was just like the whole day went like poof, and then I was suddenly going to eat dinner with the guys, like magically. Time just flew. That's the weird thing with time. The thing that I do want to get going now, so that I don't have to worry about it over the weekend, is I want to get all of the stuff that you see on the table right now put in my suitcase. So I'm gonna plug everything in one at a time and make sure that everything runs as is on the bench. I think I'm gonna run the system that's going on the mannequin, like as it will be on the mannequin, and then once that is tested and confirmed that it's totally okay and it's not missing any fucking peripherals or anything. I'm just gonna start taking, like, unplugging everything and putting it directly into my suitcase, wrapped up or in containers. And then I'm going to test this system that is going on my body, which I can actually show you because I'm here and I have a body. And I'm going to similarly test that suck choker with the bra, although I can't right now because I don't have the controller board. I guess I'll use the original one, the one that does have a controller board, as a stand-in, because they should technically be the same thing once I do finish that. But I'm going to test it out on my body, and then if that works too, then that's also going to get packed. Everything that is finished will get packed, except for that bra. This one's not done. It needs a little, like, module right here that is not ready. It's not here. There's this, like, I don't know. They're kind of ugly. I feel bad. Like, one of the things I was supposed to do this summer that I totally neglected was I was going to make a little custom circuit board for the pasty bras. Just, you know, each system has its own dedicated circuit board, but the pasty bra does not. Like, this thing has the taco, the Phileo has the Beatbox has the Phileo board, the Pulse Pack has the Pulse board. I was going to make a pepperoni board for this pasty bra, and it never got made, and it was gonna be able to drive either the pinwheel bra or the POV bra or the original, I don't know what you'd call that, I guess the proof of concept. It would be able to run that too, but it didn't get made. I don't know, it'll probably get made this winter, but it will be a little red pepperonis, and it will mount in between the boobas, like right here. But I'm gonna ask you guys how you're doing real quick. How is everybody? And let me say hi to everybody, damn it. Cool. Hi Ron. Hi Robin. Hi Micus again. Hi James. Hi Polis Squalus. Good to see you again. Mark says hi too. Hi Kia. Hi James. I said James already. I'm like going down the list. Everyone's here. This is cool. It's like a reunion. Happiness is a warm gun, Mark? What? Wait, what? Oh no. Mark's like, what? Wrong. Cool. Question, if you could add Noodle to a Fable, what would it be? Oh man, I don't know. I was thinking about your Fables yesterday. Like, as soon as I logged off yesterday, I think that was literally like the last thing that we were discussing. You guys were telling me your favorite Fables, and I was like, huh, what one had a lasting impact on me while I was growing up? And I thought about it all night while we were like out eating and drinking, and I literally could not come up with anything, which makes me feel like I was robbed of something as a human growing up. Like, I don't remember being told any fairy tales or like fables or anything like that. Do you, like, Mark, like, here, maybe you can answer this question. What's your favorite fairy tale?
Fairy tale?
Or like
oh yeah,
fable?
We had the Hansel and Gretel and all the, you know, the classic.
But which one had like a impact on you as like a human, I guess? Because I can't think of one. I think
the Goldilocks and Three Bears is one that I always think of in its sense of, like, when you have something in life, is it not enough? Is it too much, or is it just right?
Oh, like the temperance thing.
Yeah, and that's a lesson that's always stuck with me. Of like, sometimes, you know, it's like it's finding the balance, right? We talked about that.
Okay,
right? So
since he said that, now that he mentioned that, I actually remembered one. It's not. It's one of the. I don't know if it qualifies as a fable, but like when I was in high school, Here I'm like totally getting derailed, but I don't want to leave you guys hanging because this is like the last thing we talked about the last stream. Okay, so when I was in high school, when I was a junior specifically, and I think I mentioned this like yesterday, I went through this phase where I got really into Buddhism, and I kind of like, oh god.
Was that me?
Yes.
Let me take my phone.
Uh-oh. Please be Pololu. Please. Yes! I'm like...
I'm gonna run errands soon, so I'll just think of it.
Ooh.
Cool. Alright. Thank you. Okay.
Was that Palolu? Mark?
Yes. I'm gonna go get your stuff soon.
Cool! I get my board. That means I'm gonna have another POV bra, which was important. Yay! Yay for remembering really important critical things at the last minute. Anyhow, okay. So that means sometime tomorrow I will be making another one of those, like, chest modules that will go right here. Ah, yay! Solder podcast stream. I don't know. You guys can watch me solder things terribly. Tomorrow, maybe, if I do it. If I can get my, soldering iron set up in a way that makes sense. Oh man, I need to scroll down. I need to keep up with the chat and then scroll down. Wait, my British accent?
What?
What? Fake one she doesn't. I do a fake one?
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, if I do, I don't even notice. I managed to sleep through a 5-hour stream. Oh no! Oh no! Well, the time there's like a huge time difference, I think. Like for me and a lot of people that hang out with me. Like a lot of you guys are from New Zealand and Australia, I noticed, and the time is way different there, so that's totally reasonable to sleep through.
It's like they're in some other part.
It's like you're in another part of the world, so it makes sense. Today I had today I have had 2 breadboard power supply fails. One in a mildly cool manner, including losing its magic smoke. Ooh, and soldered some. It's not good that something's smoked, but I mean, sometimes it feels good when you blue smoke something. Soldered some headers, which isn't. Oh man. You should pick the scorpion and the frog. I like that one. I liked the fox and the plum thing, or the fox and the grapes, or whatever that one was. That was a good lesson. I meditated on all these. Okay, so... Oh, Poliscolas, you're only on... Oh, you're on Eastern Standard Time? Okay, well, I don't know. Like, sometimes my sleep schedule, especially in the winter, gets totally flipped and fucked too, so I think we can all relate to that. I don't know. I've been up early. Because I'm crazy and I'm stressed right now. I didn't even notice I did like a Jean-Luc Picard type British accent sometimes. Huh. I'm like losing it, I think.
Bad robot data.
I'm bad. Oh. Bad robot data. Come here, data.
Spank the robot.
Let's play Spank the robot. But I was saying that, okay, so when I was in high school, I went through this like phase where I was really into Buddhism because I think I mentioned this too yesterday. Like my parents had this super affluent, swanky Vegas lifestyle when I was in high school, and it felt very like hedonistic, I guess, when I was a kid growing up. And at some point, like I learned about the Buddha, like the Buddha, Siddhartha, and the Buddha was actually the son of a king of this kingdom in Asia. I forget. I'm probably gonna be terrible because I don't remember the things that I'm referencing. But Siddhartha, the Buddha, was the son of a rich king, and he was the prince, and he had all these like insane worldly possessions and wives and like stuff, and he had this awesome lavish lifestyle, but he was unhappy. And he decided one day to reject his like princely lifestyle and his kingdom and everything and leave and try and figure out like how to become happy or enlightened or like content with his life. And I think as far as Fables go, I think the one that had the strongest effect on me as I'm not doing anything there right now. The one that had the lasting effect on me was the part of the Buddha story where he basically spends like some amount of years meditating underneath this Bodhi tree, without eating or drinking very little like water. He like basically like withers away into like nothing, and he accepts like the bare minimum that he needs to like sustain himself as a human being. So he goes in like the total opposite direction of what his life was up until that point, with all the lavish, affluent stuff that he had as a prince. So he goes from a prince to this kind of starving, meditating monk under a tree. And like one day he's sitting under this tree, and a boat, it happens to be floating by on the river that is next to the tree. And there's these two people on the boat floating by, and they don't know he's there, but they're having a conversation. And one of them is a teacher teaching their student how to play a sitar. I forget the instrument, but it's a stringed instrument. And he's teaching his pupil how to tune the instrument, and he says to his pupil, if you string the strings too tight, they'll break, like they'll snap. And if you string them too loose, they won't play at all. But if you string them just right, in just the right way, then they'll play a lovely sound. So you have to kind of get it somewhere in between the two. And Buddha had this like revelation at that point in time that the sweet sauce, or the magic sauce to life, was to find the middle ground and live your life in moderation. So like the solution, the way to find true happiness wasn't to have nothing, it wasn't to have everything, it was to find what was right in the middle for you and be happy with that, somewhere in between. And from that day on, he kind of changed his ways and kind of went off teaching that to his pupils, like the act of seeking out moderation and happiness through moderation. So it's kind of like the Goldilocks and Three Bears thing that Mark just said, where it was about finding the porridge that was like too cold or too hot, and there was one that was just right. I don't think that's the point of the Goldilocks and the Three Bears fable, but when he said that, it reminded me of like the Buddha story. So I think when I was young, that story had probably, I don't know, it became my favorite, I don't know, fairy tale, I guess? I guess that would qualify as a legend or a fairy tale? I don't know. So it was one of the chapters from the story of the Buddha. But yeah. To answer your question, so now that I've done that, I feel like less of a butt, and I can move on to doing what I said I was going to do for the day. I don't know. Did you know that story, Mark?
Which one is the Buddha? I don't think I did. I think you've told it to me, but it doesn't.
It's a... Am I barking at the mic too loud? It's kind of close to my head, I realize that. See if I can sonar sensor some work. Apparently it doesn't work with the Pi that I'm using. Oh no. Okay, so I think the first order of business is to... I have the power supply for the heart plugged in right now to the backpack. I'm going to hook up all the systems that need to be hooked up to that thing to it. Check something on my computer real quick. There we go. There we go. You need to go on a different window. I need another screen so bad. Okay, so I'm going to, without further ado, go back to my bench view. It's an epic poem named Buddha Karita. There's a great book about epic poem named Buddha Karita. I gotta Google that. Let me write that down. Buddha. But yeah, when I was a teenager, I was really into Buddhism in general, like just the philosophy behind it, I guess. It kind of was a huge influence in my life, probably halfway through high school, for some reason. I went off on this weird, like, philosophical tangent trying to find peace in my own life, because I don't think I was very happy back then. Not that any teenager is, but I think that was definitely in response to my unconventional lifestyle that I always cite having with my parents and their, like, doing. Not that that was bad in any way, like, it was definitely cool to do the stuff that we did, but a balance needed to be struck for sure, and it was up to me to grow and decide where that balance would be found, and that was part of the lesson growing up for me. But anyhow, I digress. Back down here, I'm gonna pop over and start doing all those things. I'm gonna probably move the mic with me just in case. I don't think I have to do this, but I don't know. I'll check the chat in a second, but does it sound better with the mic over here? Or if I leave it over there, does it sound any different? So I don't know. I'm gonna leave it there for the time being. It's actually more convenient that I leave it over there because the cord isn't stretched across the walking path, which is nice. Buddha. So there's this restaurant when I was growing up at the Palms, where my mom worked. I was talking about the Palms yesterday a little bit. It was called Little Buddha, and Little Buddha was a restaurant that originated in Paris. That was like the first Little Buddha, and they kind of opened up a sister location. So it wasn't really a chain, there was just two of them. And it was their Asian restaurant for all the Asian fusion food. And I don't know. It was like a really awesome, like, I don't know, ambiance, I guess? Mark, were you ever in there?
The Buddha?
Yeah.
No. Didn't we go there once? Or what used to... Did that change to something?
It changed to something else.
We went and met with your family.
It wasn't the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the coolest restaurants like I have ever been in my life. It was very dark. There was lots of like tapestries and cushions and incense and I don't know, it was like all the cool moody hookah lounge type ambiance, but in a very like lavish, almost otherworldly way. It was very cool. What's a bee-boo?
So hopefully this runs your pack.
It's a
Figure it out when I get back.
baby power supply.
Right.
It's so cute.
It's adorable.
It's like okay,
Alright.
Mark, I'm gonna can you do me a favor? I should be like treat and say, can you do me a flavor? Can you do me a flavor? And there should be a 5.
What? What are you looking for? What are you trying to do with yourself?
Okay, if I plug this into the heart with all the things on, they should work, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay. That's, I think, what I want. Okay, so I'm plugging the heart in, and this should turn on, this should turn on, and this and the heart should all be working, right?
There you go.
This one's not plugged in.
It's stuck on. I wouldn't plug it in while it's running.
Okay.
It can damage. There you go.
Alright. Is that cord gonna be long enough? That's the only other thing. 'Cause it's like really kind of short.
Go down to the base of the. We might have to find some stuff.
Some what?
Like longer cables or something.
Like, what do you mean?
Like a USB cable extender. Bring that white one that you use.
But it won't work with this because it's a mini.
It's. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yep, we'll have to. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll go to Fry's and get something.
Go back to Fry's twice in 24
Yeah, I know.
hours.
More despair and disappointment.
We went to Fry's last night, guys. Fry's, guys.
It was horrible.
Here, let me.
Alright, or we'll make a special cable. I'm gonna go shower and go get my errands done.
I went there for coin cell batteries. They're like Noodle's lithium candies. It was disappointing. That thing doesn't have switches on it yet. It's okay. Okay, so these things are like ready to pack, so I can get them out of my view. The thing that I yanked out of this heart backpack that no one probably noticed is this power supply. It was behind the heart. There's like this cavity back here that I can shove this power supply into if I want to make the backpack mobile, but since it's not, it's going to be plugged into a wall for like demoing purposes. I'm removing its juice box and I'm sticking it in, oh man, this yellow backpack over here. So this thing is, I'm printing an adapter for it right now, but there's kind of like this, it's like a cage, and this power supply kind of berths through the top of the backpack. I have to remove these spacers right here to do so, but it slides in through the top, and then everything kind of plugs into these ports up here. So this thing's getting converted to my go-to wearable pulse pack for the project. This I'm going to be wearing around Linz, and this will be on display. Kind of just like this. This print is probably not going to be done until my friends start showing up, so unfortunately, I don't know, unless I do it tomorrow, you're not going to catch the installation of the cage. It's kind of cool. It's like a weird adapter that, there's like this, kind of like a mounting plate with a bunch of holes underneath it that you can't see. So if I wanted to add anything to it, there's countersunk captured nuts inside of that mounting plate that I can bolt onto. So long as I'm mindful of the footprint of that mounting base plate down at the very bottom layer of the heart, I can pretty much attach anything I want to it. It's kind of how I designed it. There's all sorts of like power modules and voltage regulator dues, like power glands inside of here that have been added to it. The heart has been like heavily modified to do, like in the past couple of years. It's definitely past due for a second revision, but it wasn't something that I wanted to like rush doing this summer, just to do it. Not that boards are terribly expensive, but I don't know. This is supposed to be green. There. My port and starboard. This one's just red now. Okay, so anyhow. So the other thing I talked about during the stream was the stickers. I think I'm sending them out to all of my patrons that are my patrons right now, whose addresses I have. And then I asked if you know me on Twitter or you follow me on Twitter, if you DM me, we can talk and exchange like information, and then I can like mail you one. If it's something that you want, I don't mind doing it, but it's probably not going to happen until after I leave next week. Mark is going to be a doll and send them all out in envelopes for me, so I'm going to put together like a database of all the addresses of everyone who wants one, and then they'll probably go out sometime next week. Because I totally don't have time to do that now, but Mark is going to be a good BGU and help me out, so you will get them sometime like next week or the following week, however long it takes for mail to travel from one point to another. Okay, so without further ado, I need to clear off a space from my suitcase, which sounds kind of absurd now that I think about it, given how much stuff is on this table. And it feels like something you ought to see, because I wish my bench cam could like encapsulate way more space than they currently have right now. There's like, I don't know, like the whole viewing space is just like taken up right now, which I hate. Oh, autofocus is on. Bam! Good thing I caught that. You sound a bit more distant with the mic over there, but totally understand. Gotta go. Cool, take care, Micus. Hi, Nikuman. Hi, the captain. Have my address, so I'll DM you. Okay. But yeah, totally DM me. Like, don't put it in the chat, because we were talking about this yesterday. The chat, I guess, on YouTube is like archived as part of the stream magically. I don't know how they do that, but yeah, I want everybody to be safe. All right, I'm gonna adjust the camera real quick because I just noticed it's doing that terrible autofocus thing that I have to turn off each and every time I stream. There. Okay. There, I won't do that anymore. Alright, I think what I'm gonna do, and you'll see it in the camera I'm currently in, I'm gonna stick my suitcase on the chair. There's like a chair behind me here, and I'll start stuffing things into it off of the table. And then once there's enough space cleared off of the table, I will transfer it over to it from the chair to the table. That sounds reasonable. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Does anybody have any cool, awesome plans for the weekend or Friday or anything like that? I know tonight is Kiddie Pool Friday. French Toast Friday doesn't start until like, I guess technically after today. This is our last kiddie pool night. I guess while I'm in Austria, Mark's gonna drain the pool and kind of close it down for the season, which means in our house, summer is officially over, which kind of bums me out. I don't know where summer went. Sigh. But, yeah. Such as it is. French Toast Friday will start up after this. For our big hoorah, like the final kiddie pool night, I think we're doing the original Blade Runner, which is my technically my favorite movie, and then the new one that just came out last year, which I haven't seen yet. So I think that is what we will be doing tonight, along with Mark's tacos. Mark's making tacos. Aw, I'm glad you're here watching the stream. You can hang out with me. Do you guys have seasons in Nevada? I thought it was just... we have desert seasons. To be honest. They're not as pronounced as, say, the Midwest, but we have a very short, I guess, spring season and a very short fall season. We don't have any like deciduous trees here, so nothing changes color. It just, in October, which is technically like the 1 month of fall that we get, it starts to get a little bit cooler, and then it stays that temperature pretty much all winter until the spring. Gets a little bit cooler. And then I want to say in March, it warms back up again and becomes like the temperature it always is. So I want to say it's not as comfortable as California, but it's definitely on the warm side. Oh, cool, you're doing suitcase stuff too? The captain. Yeah, packing, my best friend, hopefully he comes tonight. He's packing too. He's moving to a new apartment, so I'm hoping that the packing doesn't keep him from coming to the kiddie pool wrap. Aww. No, you don't have to kill anybody to like hang out, Nikumen. I mean, if you're ever in Vegas, like, I don't know where, like, what part of the world you're from, but if you're in Vegas, like, let me know. Like, Mark and I would happily meet up for, like, beer. It's kind of, like, that invite goes to everybody, generally. Like, I think over the past few years, I've met a bunch of my Twitter friends, I guess, like people that I know in my Twitter circle in person. They've either come into town for like some conference, and then if anybody has time to like meet up for a drink because they're in Vegas for some reason, we totally are happy to meet up and talk, because that's what humans do. But anyhow, I'm gonna go get that suitcase. So I'll be right back. Okay. Fun. I can go off for now. Okay, so I just knocked a bunch of shit down in the other room. See, we have this bedroom in our house that God, this is such a shitty suitcase. Heavy, awkward thing. We have this shitty room in the back where we keep the robots. It's like the robot room where the 100 Delta robots are, and they take up like the mass of space that's in there, and we have to kind of maneuver around them to get to A, my clothes, because that's where my closet is, B, the printers, which are kind of in the corners of the room, and then there's like all these trash bags in there with packing material. Like I talk about having a lot of bubble wrap. They're like filled with all the, I guess, shipping stuff that we get in boxes, like when we get Amazon orders. Like we save all that crap. I just knocked down all of the packing bags, so they're now on the floor. Oh, the fan. Oh man. Is there a fan wine? Asthma looping potential. I gotta check that out after the stream. Alright, so I have this box somewhere. Where is it? Okay, so if I don't want to use this, so I'm thinking, the hell that I've been in lately is that when I go to bed at night, I dream of packing. So like for the past 2 nights, like I'd sleep and then think of how I was going to pack all of this stuff in my luggage. And that's kind of been it. And in one of those dreams, I imagined putting the hearts. I don't think they fit in there though. Okay, so they have to go in this box. Alright, so I have...
Okay.
I don't know if something bit me in there or not.
What happened?
I don't know.
Something bit you?
I don't know. I have like a red mark on my hand now and it kind of stings.
Like this right here?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you check for scorpions? In your bag?
Well, I grabbed it out of the back, so next to the bag, in between the bag.
Yeah, maybe something bit you.
Maybe there's a
Could be a spider in there. If it starts to get really red, then we'll take you to the urgent care.
Cool.
Black witters.
I mean,
Brown
I
recluse.
didn't feel it when it happened. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check the back room for something. If I got bit by a thing. Yuck. Come with me. Yay! Got bit by a spider or something. Yuck. I don't know if anyone can see that. Probably not. Cool. Preemptive F's in the chat. Spider sheep on origin story? No shit, right? I live in the UK, nothing that can bite you here is dangerous enough to worry about. Yeah, we have some pretty nasty stuff. That's another thing about the desert. We have desert seasons, which are like the intermediate seasons are super short, and then the winter is pretty mild. It does get kind of cold, especially at night, and then the summer is ridiculously hot. And then we have bugs. We have scorpions, we have black widows, and we have brown recluse spiders here. So hopefully it wasn't any of those. All the more reason to become an awesome cyborg. I agree. Damn it. Ew. Yuck. I don't like being bitten by things. Mark, I don't like being eaten by pizzas.
Aww.
Bad. Noodle, you need to...
redder.
No, it just is.
Put some hydrocortisone on it, maybe.
Blech.
I'll keep it from being itchy.
I don't like it. No.
Maybe you just scraped it.
It like feels. It has feels. I don't like them. Oh, I have this stinger thing now too. Oh, you're gonna need to modify this board, it occurs to me. The other one? Because remember to run the POV pasties, you had to pull...
Connector.
Yeah, there's like 2 extra pins that it needed.
Well, we'll do it.
Burp. Burpus. No. Yeah, it was TP1 and TP2 you plugged into.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So
things are so hacked. Alright, so I've got the stinger. How am I gonna do that? Well, that's why we're here, folks. Tetris. I must Tetris the things. Fra la 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 la. All of the things. So many things. Things, things, things. Here, can I make this? I can. Nice. Cool. I'll switch them. Okay, so I'm yanking the propellers off of this one because they have switches, and I'm going to put them. Don't see. Oh, it is. Okay, I have a request for you, my love.
Yeah.
Can you add switches to
Wait, what?
these guys?
What?
Because these ones don't have switches.
Oh.
I'm sorry. So there's like a little switch on the back. I don't even know if you guys can see this. Right here. Oh god, wrong way. So right here, the silver thing, there's like a switch on the side that turns it on and off. It just pokes out of the lip enough that I can turn the batteries on and off so I don't just like waste a million coin cells. So the reason why we went to Fry's yesterday before the movie for a disappointing, I don't know, excursion was to get a bunch of, like a metric ton of coin cells because I anticipate having to switch these out of the propellers fairly regularly. I didn't get any because it's Fry's and they were unfortunately more expensive than I was anticipating, such as it is. Okay. Alright, so I can, to test these, full system test.
Where do we think these switches are?
I don't think you gave them back to me, so they're over there somewhere.
Really?
Yes. Heh. This one's all you, baby.
Oh, shit. Oh, there. Million Mauser bags.
So many Mausers. Do, 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 do. So many Mausers. Do, 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 do. So many Mausers. Do, so many Mausers. I can't wait for your tacos, Daddy.
Yeah.
Taco Daddy.
Daddy taco.
Daddy taco. Hey, you. Okay, that one's on. This one's on. If I. These ones are not working. No. They're not lighting up.
They're not going fast enough. Do you have, are these the nipple sensor?
What?
Oh. Is the magnet maybe not close enough on that one? The magnet might be the wrong direction. I think there was a north and south.
No, this is the one that's always worked.
Oh, now it's not suddenly not working?
Yeah.
Ah.
These are the new ones, though. So
Well, that's what I mean, is maybe...
These are the new propellers on the base that
Yeah,
was already
something about those sensors are not...
So it's programmed because they're blinking, but they're not reading. Oh, worry about the other thing first.
Oh God.
What are you doing?
Coming over. Is this one on?
Yeah.
Can you take it off of there?
They're not tripping. Okay.
It's... For some reason this magnet isn't enough to trade.
There's like literally nothing different between these and the previous set. Don't flick it. I can just turn them on. But they're not working. So
I mean, this triggers it, but it has to be strong enough. And there's, I don't know what's different. Unless it's on the hairy edge of...
Alright, put the switches on those.
Oh, you know what?
Hmm.
I think I forgot to set those to 16 megahertz. Let me reflash these. I remember I was trying to screw with the 8 megahertz, and I know that's not what they are, so let me reflash them.
Okay.
Maybe they'll do a better job. Could just be timing. I'm really supposed to be leaving soon, so.
Okay. I mean, you can worry about it when you come back.
You know, then you're gonna flood me when I get home, and I want to be making dinner. So.
Yay! I don't know how to explain what's going on. What's going on in this stream, everybody? I'm packing all the stuff that's on this bench right now into a suitcase, but I'm testing it before I do so. And everything's almost working, but every time it's like supposed to be working and ready, something isn't working and ready. I guess that's the point of troubleshooting. This is a troubleshooting stream, but it's supposed to be a packing stream. Once I get through the troubleshooting, I guess then the packing can commence. Correct, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there'll be tacos, and then everyone will be happy. Anyhow, okay, I think, what can I put away? Nothing. Nothing yet. Here, I'm gonna wash the gross off my hands and then fondle the neck things. Those can get packed into their container and like de-knotted because they're kind of in a giant heap right now. You can see them at the far right of the screen in a box. There's just like tubes. Bad tubes.
Try that out.
Did you reflash it?
Yes.
Okay. 1 ton of mayo.
Or did I? Oh, I'm supposed to redo the bootloader. Sorry.
1 ton of mayo. 1 ton of mayo. 1 ton of mayo. Do, 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 do. 1 ton of mayo. Do, do, do. 1 ton of mayo. Noodle says he needs to populate what's going on.
Let's see if that spins.
Yeah?
Let's touch this one.
Okay. There, let's put some noodles around. There you go, Noodle. He says he wants to be visible, even if he's not here. He says the stream's about him.
There you go.
Pizza!
Alright, so let's do this one.
No, this one's not...
What?
Okay.
Capture that one.
Thank you, sweetie. There we go! They're actually different.
Holy fuck.
Well, no, like one is one boob and one is the other boob.
Excuse me?
Well, one has one set of.
Jumper reset? Or is that programming?
Yeah,
Alright, then just figure out which one you want to do what.
it doesn't matter. Just one of them needs to be the other thing. But they're working now. Woo! Problem solved. Super fast. Okay. There. I can even turn them off. So nice. Cool. Okay, so that's a happy. So I'm going to switch these. Or I don't have to unplug that. These I'm going to switch back to the other bra. Since they're the new ones anyway.
Pick one to be word program.
Okie dokie. Alright. We're getting there. Okay, guys. Alright. Where's the other... Where the hell did I put the other propeller? Oh, that's right. You're reprogramming one of them. That's correct. Okay. I'm gonna go wash my hands. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna wash my hands and then I'm gonna try and get this stuff squared away into a thing. Okay. Check the chat. One ton of mayo? Yes. Mark works his magic once again. Yes. He will capture the Smurfs and then turn them into gold. Mark, no capturing the Smurfs. That's hilarious. Mark
Are they saying I'm Gargamel?
Mark is Gargamel.
God.
Mark, you're Gargamel.
Lonely single male.
That has a fetish for small blue people.
Has a fetish for a small female Smurf.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mark.
Weird.
Mark.
And a cat.
With the cat, the creepy cat. It's okay.
I would say my single days I would remind myself of Gargamel because I was like a single male with cat.
Yeah?
And in my lab all day and making things.
Yeah, in like a monk robe.
Yes.
Bad wizard.
Yep.
Aww. Mark. Now you're a taco lord.
I'm a taco lord? Yeah.
You're not a time lord, you're a taco lord.
Taco lord.
So, Gargamark.
What?
You're a Gargamark. Okay. Okay, what am I doing? I need to get all this stuff in. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use some bubble wrap and some bins for partitioning some of the smaller fragile things away from one another. Like I think I'm going to unscrew the caps of all the bras from the bra bases and put those kind of in their own like zone. Wrapped up in bubble wrap, and then the bras will all get stacked and then kind of put in their own zone. I just want to test this with the new propellers working before I put it away and detach the boobies from it. Gargamel. These I'm kind of worried about. Like I don't know where I'm gonna stick this happy magic.
Oh, hi, Gargamel.
Oh, hi, Gargamel. That's you.
If they did the Room movie with the Smurfs.
That would be you. That would totally be you, Mark. Gorkamel? Gurkamel. Ooh. Gurkamel. Okay, what can I do? I can get a bin. Do I have a bin? Had a bin here. Now it's there. These fit nicely in my suitcase. Okay. Okay, so this is where the hip winch thing is.
Alright, there's those. Alright, now I gotta go.
Okay.
Well, it's closing early.
Okay, go hit the polo loo. Hit me, baby, one more time. I don't know where the batteries are. Man. That is an unfortunate thing. But I'm fairly certain these work. Therefore, I don't have to test them. Oh, I don't see batteries. Man, that sucks. I hate not having the thing I need. Alright. In any case, these go back on the bra, because that's where they belong. I guess I can pack these up in such a way that I can unpack them real quick for like an extra test. Because I don't think the stuff I'm wearing on my body is necessarily going to get packed yet. It's just the stuff that is not.
Alright, I love you.
Where are you going?
To the store,
No.
to the post office, to the Pololu.
No.
I'm gonna get you Harbor Freight batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, give me a kiss.
Yeah? Tacos? You're gonna do the tacos?
Yeah.
And then what?
Oh, I should see if there's any Harbor Freight coupons for free flashlights or something.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm gonna be down there.
Ooh. I can get a free LED flashlight.
Free LED flashlight with batteries.
Oh, I know what I can do. I need to open this pelvic salmon up and adjust the volume knob on it. That's something I can do. Which, unfortunately, I have to unscrew things from it in order to do so. I don't want to do that. Is there an easier way to get that out? I think there is. Gargamark?
Gargamark?
Mark, you're my Gargamark.
Gargle Mark?
You're my Gargle Mark. Gurko Mark?
Gargle Mark.
Gurkomatic? You can be my Gurkin, baby. Mark, how come everything I design is a pain in the ass? I remember how I did this. I remember there was a trick to it that even I wouldn't remember. Gotta slide that out and then I can access the volume knob. So I slid this window thing off of the salmon and now I can access the volume knob with an implement that is not my finger because my finger is too small to fit in there. You know what? Fuck it, it's not. Anything can fit with a little bit of force. What?
Anything can fit without force? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Wow.
Alright, let's get the volume of the salmon tuned in, because I don't want it to be perfectly silent. The salmon needs to have a voice. Okay, so sound check for the salmon. No volume. I have an an SD card in this bitch? Yes, I do. But there's no speaking. Is the speaker not plugged in? Oh, that's what it is. The speaker is not plugged in. How do I plug the speaker back in? Somewhere that is not easy to get to.
You're gonna read erotica in Austrian?
I can make it do that. Can we find some erotica, Austrian erotica?
You just find erotica and then have it run through Google Translate and then run that through the speech thing.
I could do that.
And it's like, that's really bad. People are just like laughing.
Here's a fun story. So this thing that I'm holding in my hands right now, this like salmon thing, this is worn over the pelvis. It's called the beatbox. What it does is it reads your pulse or your heart rate or whatever, and the faster your heart beats, the louder it whispers erotica into your nether region using a speaker that's like on the inside here. I'm trying to plug the speaker in right now. It got unplugged, probably for reasons. But there's an SD card and an SD card reader on its circuit board, and I can load that up with a WAV file and it will read like whatever random shit I put on it. Originally I was going to try and get my friends to like whisper random, like unsettling, sort of disturbing stuff like into the salmon so that you would kind of subtly hear it. Maybe sometimes. I think the point was that the whispers would be so low that only the person wearing the beatbox would be capable of hearing or feeling the vibrations. But if your heart rate picked up and was fast enough, then the vibrations would get more intense because the whispering would also get louder, and then eventually other people could hear it. That's like the idea, I guess. The way that it's set up right now, though, the heart rate isn't controlling the salmon. It's just sort of like playing erotica for like no good reason, affected by nothing. Which is fine, I guess, for a demoing thing. But for the WAV file that's on there right now, we got one of the text-to-speech voices to read like a random like excerpt from some Victorian erotica. And it's really awkward. But I was really into text-to-speech back when I did this. And I went to Tokyo last year for this philosophical summit that Ars put on called the FIS Summit, the Future Innovators Summit. And for our presentation, like I ended up kind of like suggesting that we use text-to-speech to like make our point about the thing, about whatever forum was about. I don't know. Whatever like the culmination of our thoughts was at the end of the forum. We were supposed to put together some sort of like presentation that embodied like the essence of like what we discussed. And yeah, we did it all as a text-to-speech, and we went up and we held our laptops and pressed play in order, and our laptops spoke in different, like, broken text-to-speech, like, computer voices, and said a bunch of stuff that we typed out. But I think, like, I totally suggested that because right before I left, I was playing around with saving text-to-speech WAV files on my salmon. I don't think anyone knew that. I knew that. But I totally went through this phase where I loved making computers say weird, unusual things. I totally can't get this plugged in, by the way. That's frustrating me. I really don't want to take this thing apart either. Maybe it's the wrong way. Maybe if I flip it around, that is the correct way. It's hard to tell. So that's what this thing does. It does happen to consequently look like a salmon, though. When I was designing the housing, it just turned out looking like a fillet of fish that you'd buy at like the butcher. And once we started calling it the fillet of fish, I just went full salmon and like actually added the salmon grating to the side, which you can see. And the circuit board that's inside of it, I'll find one to show you here in a second, but it actually looks like a cross-section of fish, which kind of looks like a vagina. Totally intentional. Man. Really angry at myself for making this so difficult to access. Might have to take it apart. Might. I'm hoping that's not the case. So I'm only so dexterous. You know who's super dexterous? Magically? In some like weird way? Noodle Shape Daddy. He can like fix anything. If I ask him to look at something that has stumped me entirely, he will get it working in like 5 seconds. It's like his magical gift as a mechanical person. Or at least I don't think I'm capable of troubleshooting my own mechanical stuff sometimes. It's like a weird gimmick. You can't fix the stuff you design as easily as other people's stuff. Come on. Get in there. I can't do it. I'm trying. Am I in the right? I can't even tell if I'm like, I can't even tell if I'm trying to jack into the right thing. God damn it. Oh. Maybe? Yes! Ha! See? Nothing a little bit of force can't fix. That's what I always say. Okay, let's see if it's actually plugged in correctly.
Not a word passed between us. She glued her lips to mine, almost sucking my breath away, and altogether seemed in such an agitated state that I was nearly frightened. Still, I felt only too pleased, as she held my affair in her hand and slowly passed her fingers up and down, drawing back the foreskin each time. Somehow she gradually worked me into a position between her legs as we lay side by side. Then she commenced rubbing the nose of my machine in a moist sort of kick devoured in the silky hair at the bottom of her stomach. One of her arms hooked me round the waist, and presently a soft whisper murmured, "Percy, push yourself close to me. It's so nice, my darling." Not a word passed between us.
I forgot about that.
Her lips to mine, almost sucking my breath away.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay, it works. That's kind of all I wanted to, I guess, verify at this point in time. I think that's a little bit... Here, let's get the volume honed in.
Not a word passed between us. She glued her lips to mine, almost sucking my breath away, and altogether seemed in such an agitated state that I was nearly frightened. Still, I felt only... She held my affair in her hand and slowly passed her fingers up and down, drawing back the foreskin each time. Somehow she gradually worked into a position between her legs as we lay side by side. Then she commenced rubbing the nose of my machine in a moist sort of kick devoured in the
I think that's probably good.
bottom of her stomach. One of her arms hooked me round the waist, and presently a soft whisper murmured, "Percy, push yourself close to me. It's so nice, my darling." The word
Oh god. That's really creepy.
almost sucking my breath away, and altogether
That is like disturbing as shit.
that I was nearly frightened. Still, I felt only too pleased, as she held my affair in her hand and slowly passed her fingers up and down,
Okay, that wave file's gotta get replaced.
drawing back the foreskin each time. Somehow she gradually worked me into a position between her legs as we lay side by side.
Alright, but that'll do for now.
Rubbing the nose of my my machine.
The nose of my machine, and for moist, soft... What did he say? Belly hair? I don't even know what that would be. That is some Victorian erotica for you. I don't know where Mark found that. But Mark definitely sourced that from the deep, dark internet somewhere. I was like, quick, I need dirty whispering. I think it was last spring. It was like last May that I built this, and nobody wanted to do dirty whispering for me back then for some reason. I don't remember why. So like I couldn't talk Matt or Tony or anyone into doing it. But since they're gonna be here tonight, right? Hopefully, for the final kiddie pool kickoff thingy. The kitty rap. I'm hoping that maybe I might be able to talk them into doing at least a couple of minutes for my wave file, because if I can get like all three of them to like contribute something, then I'll have a better wave file than whatever the hell this terrifying broken text-to-speech amalgam was. I mean it definitely has its charm and everything, but that's... I don't know if I want that to be playing forever on loop at Ars. It'll drive people crazy. Not that anyone would be able to hear it. Like, I think I'm gonna tune it so that you have to actually kind of get your head right up to the dummy's, like, crotch to actually hear what it's saying. So it's, like, only there if people are listening to it or listening for it. Because, I think this is going to be displayed in, like, the main level of, Post City, and it's kind of like a big, echoey room, and there's a lot of people in there, depending on what time of day it is, so it's going to be an interesting thing to see how the sound plays. Like, I think at times you'll be able to hear it just fine, and others it will just sort of get like lost in all of the chaos that's going on in that big space. But when it's quiet enough, if the speaker's going, you'll definitely be able to hear creepy whispers coming from the crotch of the dummy, which I'm kind of super okay with. I think it is a WAV file, I believe. PT vibes. Definitely meets all my robot erotica needs. It's a very sexy voice. It's like... Let me scroll up. Oh god, which cartoon magician is Tony? Oh man. I don't know if he's watching the stream or not. I don't know if he's lurking. But like I can't even think of what sort of like wizard magician he would be. Tony's like, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think about this. Show. There we go. Anything can fit with a little bit of force. His Bad Dragons Company motto. Really? I would believe that if that were the case. Seems to be turning into an amount of gold each month. It stands for Taco This. Oh, it's like TARDIS. Taco Lord. TARDIS. No, Mark has a Shardis. Not a TARDIS. It's a Shardis. Like, for sure. Normal way of consuming erotica. Ooh, it's salmon season in Oregon. I love salmon. Like, I love salmon. I have a bunch of salmon stuff. I have an affinity for salmon, and then I play a lot of Splatoon, and they have a mode called Salmon Run, coincidentally, which is crazy that they even added that to the game, which I was already obsessed with Splatoon, because it was like squids and bukkake and stuff. And then they're like, here, have salmon mode. And I was like, what? There's a salmon mode? So now I'm like really in love with the game, because they have like the salmon egg theme, like survival mode, the firefight mode that's super fun. Salmon. But yeah, I gotta re-record the file and get more whispers, like from a human. I might put them in the loop with the Victorian erotica, plus some good either Germanic erotica, or if we can find specifically Austrian erotica, or maybe just erotica from like all of the different, like, corners of the world. Everything we can find. To a seashell. I know it is like if you listen to a seashell, but it's like the crotch of a dummy or a mannequin. Is it rude to call a mannequin a dummy? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what cartoon magician Tony would be. Cartoon magician. I don't know. I don't know. He's like his own flavor of whatever. He's like the brooding hitman magician. Are there brooding hitman magicians? Is that like a thing? I don't know. Moody magician. What cartoon wizards are moody? Wouldn't really be a wizard. I don't know, I think like Mark qualifies as a wizard because he does electronics, and to me like electronics has always been kind of like a wizardy thing because it's something that you can't see and you're like controlling electricity. Like you're determining where and how electricity, this like unbridled, terrifying force, how it is used and what it is going to do, and you like distort it in such a way that it works for you to make screens light up and show pictures and like make LEDs blink and transmit communication. So it's like a very wizardy thing. Like, I don't know, because like Tony's a machinist, so I'm trying to think like what the analog for a machinist would be in the fantasy world. Because like you deal with shapes, right? You're a shape maker, like a blacksmith or something. So you're like more like distorting physical things that have certain properties into shapes that serve different types of purposes, but they're a lot more like physical and apparent. So I don't know. I don't know what Tony would be. But I digress. That has nothing to do with packing. A light wrangler. Yeah. Wait. Wrangling, lightning, so... Yes. Angry pixies. Machining is magic. It's a different type of magic. I don't know. That was the thing that I fell in love with when I was a college student in Chicago. I took this robotics class. See, the school that I went to, here, I'll take a break since, I don't know, I want to take a break. I'm getting nothing done. Let's see. Is that microphone working now? It says that this was muted for some reason. Weird. Okay, is the microphone like better? Weird. I wonder when that happened. At least it switched over. Huh. So if I turn... Okay, is it... I'm guessing it's probably a lot better now? Because it was showing just a second ago that it was muted, and I don't know when that got bumped. Weird. Sorry about that. Anyhow, so when I was a student in Chicago, let's see. So I went there for printmaking at this contemporary art school, and I took a whole semester of just printmaking classes, and then for my second semester, like over winter break, somebody suggested to me that I switch over to the art tech department. Okay, so again, a minute ago, like when I was working on the crotch salmon, could you hear me? When the microphone was on the other table? Like, I mean, obviously you could, because you could hear the erotica sounds, right? Weird. Was it, bad? Like, was it poor audio back then? I don't know. 'Cause when I went to move the microphone over, the mute button was blinking, and I was like, I never hit that. Weird. Okay, so anyhow, oh yeah, okay, so I switched over to the art tech department because somebody was like, hey, you like drawing robots, you should take art tech classes and actually make robots. And the nice thing about going to this school that I went to, SAIC, was that there were no prerequisites for anything. So you could literally take like grad level classes. It was just up to you to like make up what you didn't know. And I think I've said this in a stream before, but like I ended up signing up for a robotics course and I didn't know shit. Like I knew nothing about like electronics, fabrication, circuit design, coding, any of that. Any of the things you needed to be in the class, I knew none of it. And the professor was like, no, you should stay, you'll learn a lot. Long story short, when I got authorized on all of the machining equipment, I literally learned what each piece of equipment was the day that I used it for the first time. So, like, I didn't know what a lathe was until I used it, like, and was using it and was being authorized on it. And that goes the same for, like, a mill and a horizontal bandsaw and a cold saw. I'd never heard of any of those things before. And then suddenly I was just getting, like, all this knowledge just dumped into my head. But within, like, a couple of weeks, like the newness of all of that and like the excitement of being able to create custom pieces out of metal like just became like my thing. I knew that that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to make robots because it was challenging. It was a lot harder to actually like, and in a sense to get to like close the loop and come full circle. It was magical to take an idea and make a physical thing from scratch that fulfilled that function. So it was like a form of magic. It was just a very different type of magic than the circuitry and the code writing stuff that Mark does. It's like tangible magic versus like abstract magic, I guess. So they're different types of wizards. Okay, sorry about the volume thing. I don't know, sometimes, I guess, something caused it to switch. I mean, was it okay earlier, or has it been quiet the whole stream? Weird. Maybe I should stop moving this thing all over the room. I might accidentally hit the mute button. Like, I like this microphone, it was expensive and it works pretty well, but the buttons are, like, kind of shitty on it. It's like it's the Blue Yeti. Like, the buttons are very, like, kind of not solid feeling. It's my only critique of it. Negative critique of it. But anyhow, I digress. So the salmon is working. This is the butt winch. It's kind of just already in a case right here. I don't know if I'm gonna actually move it around because it just kind of works in this space pretty well. I might put some bubble wrap on top of it and fit a couple more things like around it, but I kind of like that it's in its own partition already. So the salmon might hijack a spot in there with it. I'm thinking I might use a smaller container to wrap up all of the boob pieces. I mentioned this earlier. I'm trying to think which ones are actually done and ready to get packed up and which ones aren't. I mean, I suppose this one is technically, like, good to go, so I can unplug it, and so is that one. So they can kind of go away. This, like, Cat 5 connector does not release when it's supposed to. I end up having to rip it out violently. Gargano. It's really funny that you guys call him that, because we've actually had that conversation, like, previously that that's sort of his unofficial, like, spirit animal. Or would be a marked spirit animal. Okay. But yeah, SASU was a good school. I know I've like talked about this on streams before. It was a interesting place that I totally didn't feel like I belonged in at all. Had an interesting relationship with the school while I was there, and I was totally okay with leaving when I did. But that was definitely the place where my path forked. And I have very affectionate memories of living in Chicago, and Matt coming to visit me out there, because back then he was my boyfriend. College was an interesting era. Not because of crazy parties or anything like that either. It was just like a solid period of disillusionment and not knowing what the hell I was doing. That just led to more of the same. More disillusionment and more not knowing what the hell I was doing. Okay, so I'm adding these brackets back on. I know I mentioned that I was probably going to have to pack these with the brackets off. I don't think I'm gonna do that for reasons. I kind of don't want the insides getting crushed, and the only defense from the crushingness is these specific brackets that I'm screwing in right now. So they'll probably stay roughly in the form that they are currently in, so that means that I'm gonna have to get kind of creative with how everything fills the space around them. This gland can go to this backpack in the weird instance that I decide to actually wear the butt wrench, which I don't think I'm gonna. Blindly stick this in here just to see what I can do to sort of tile these things together. These both actually fit in here. If I got like a big box that could fit both of these. Okay. Maybe that is what I'll do. I don't know if you can even see this. No, you can't. Okay, so alright. Let's see if I can transfer my suitcase to this table at this point in time. so you can see what the new bane of my existence is going to become. Alright, so I have... I have 3 pasty bras. The bottommost one is not working. The salmon is working. I have 2 suck choker back rack bank things. I'm trying to get all my tools over here. I can possibly manage it. Tools are here. Alright, Noodle stickers, you need to go away. I know you like being seen, but I'm gonna have to go over here now. Here, let's gently move this microphone back over to the table for maximum hearing power. There. Okay. Okay. These were coming up. That's right. Glue. Okay. Sticky stuff. This I need for one of those belts. Okay. These I need certain housings. This can get put away because it's technically raw material, but I don't want to get too messed up. Okay. Miscellaneous hardware. My to-do list of shame. I'm gonna stick to this ball. There we go. Let's see. I don't think the suitcase will fit yet. This one. If I scoot all of this over here, I don't know if okay, so that's still on camera, you can kind of see it. In any case, you know it's there. This is where all of the bras and the panties are. Back racks are back there. Okay, so this thing got trimmed. Okay, so this goes with this. Okay. Alright, I think I have enough space now. Maybe. Yeah. Oh god. That's a suitcase. Alright, I guess the microphone needs to go back over here. Okay. And we've got liftoff. And maybe light. There we go. That's a little harsh. How about this light? That's a little better. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Okay, so I've got... This is the winch belt. It's just sort of in its state. This is the only part of the Shibon project that isn't getting power that I know of. Unless for some reason I do end up demoing it on with this guy right here, the yellow one that I'll be wearing. In which case I'm gonna have to install this voltage converter thing, because I think this was the sweet sauce that kicked the voltage from the power supply, that black brick that I was showing you guys earlier. It knocked this down from 12 volts back to 5, which is what these DC motors run off of. Because these do plug into Molex connectors instead of being powered through USB, like all the other devices are. So USB plugs into the heart. And everything's powered by the heart except for the butt winch. It's kind of its own thing. And it doesn't have a board yet either. It's running on one of Mark's and Nymph boards right now. So I'm thinking if I made a dedicated brain board for the butt winch, it would probably be called the Biscuit, and it would actually look kind of like a biscuit. So there'd be the Biscuit board, and then there's going to be a pepperoni board sometime next year, or this year, this fall, next season. Let's see, I'm going to see if I have a actual box that's like roughly the size of this space, to kind of act as a foundation for this stuff here. Because I don't want to place anything just on the raw back of the suitcase, because there's no support there other than the metal beams for the extendable carry device thingy, handle, whatever. And that is bad. Do we have a box? Oh man, guys, I found a hat box that might be perfect. Oh god. Yeah, I totally did that. No! Get back up there. Well, shit. There, you look at that for now. God damn it. This is where the logistics of streaming get really annoying. Because now I have to spend time fixing this. Alright, got the stool. That's where it was. Something like that. I think that's about where it was. whatever. And the step stool, where are you going to live now? I don't know. Alright, don't unplug the microphone while stepping over it to put the step stool away that you needed to fix the camera. Fuck it. Yay! Alright, anyhow, I found this hat box. It seems like, yep, that might just be the perfect size, maybe a little big. Let's see. So this one isn't getting packed yet. Neither is this one. Oh god. And there's totally a hat in here too. Okay. So that will fit, but not with this in there. Kind of barely. It's kind of a nice thing because it offers a pretty decent amount of like structural stability. So like anything that's in here isn't going to get like fucked up too much. The suitcase is fabric and there's like some structure to it, but there definitely isn't on the back, as I mentioned. There's just like these cross beams, 2 of them in the center, where the extendable kind of draggy carry thing is. Man, what am I gonna do with this hat? I totally wore this thing to Comic-Con. I think I wore it to when I gave my talk at HDDG last summer too. I was watching Westworld back there because I was going to be on a Westworld panel at Comic-Con in San Diego, and I was kind of totally in the character, I guess, of wearing a black hat. Not that I think I'm a bad guy or anything, but you know. Oh man, does that come out? Of course not. I mean, I can make it come out. This lays down flat. Okay. I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get here. Like, I don't want to rip the hat portion out in case I want to reuse this box after I get home for something. But, I can probably slide wires and shit underneath here. Because since there's like a compartment like underneath this lip that's actually got quite a bit of like structural stability to it too, I can probably stick like my oh shit kit and my balled up cords and wires and stuff down here, which is I think what I'm gonna do. The butt winch box will probably fit here if I tilt it on its side. So I just need to make sure I pad that pretty well. Those actually fit in there. Would you look at that? I couldn't have planned that better if I had planned it. Or something. Okay, so those just kind of fit in there. Thank you, Hatbox. Perfect. Huh. You have no idea how pleased I am that this worked out this well. I don't really have a lot of like worldly possessions like at Mark's place, but this hat box was one of them, specifically because I was on the panel and I had to watch Westworld and needed my cowboy hat, which I had to retrieve from my parents' place, from my room that I never visit with all my stuff in it, and drag all that stuff over here, or this hat thing over here. And my mom was like, here, take the box so that it doesn't get fucked up. And I was like, yes, that's a good idea, Mom. Okay, fine, I'll take the whole box. And I brought it back over here, and now it is saving my ass and protecting my gear while I go to Ars. And the only reason I was on the Westworld panel was because of Alan. So thank you, Alan. In some weird, indirect way, you are the reason why I have this box right here, right now, that fits all of this stuff in it so fucking well. I am so pleased with that. Anyhow, I'm gonna sit down and say hi to you guys. Just for a second. Cool. Our own power cable, spooky. What are the TSA going to do when they see wires in hidden compartments? I mean, they've never said anything before. My luggage is terrifying. Like, anytime I travel any place, it's all wires and hidden compartments forever. I don't know. That being said, as spooky as my luggage has been, I've never received very many of those TSA "we've searched your luggage" like notifications. So I think that they look for dense things, which is what explosives tend to be made out of, like dense, like hard, like cheese. Like if you travel with cheese, I think you're more likely to get your luggage searched than if you just come with a bunch of wires and plastic. That stuff's like fairly innocuous, and I think they know that people are going to be coming through with electronics for a variety of reasons, and that stuff isn't like what they are necessarily like keying in on. When I came home from the Netherlands with like a bunch of Gouda cheese, that's when it was like, what the fuck are these dense solid things taking up random space in your bags? And then that's when I got searched, but never because of Noodle. Crazy enough. But yeah, my bags are like always a nightmare because it's usually not clothes, it's usually like stuff that I'm showing off for some reason. It's something. But yeah, let me... Cool. Alright, it's been 2 hours. I'm just making sure I'm not too far behind schedule. I think my goal is to stage everything in my luggage today. What is it? Goose? Uh-oh, Matt's sending me things. Untitled Goose Game. Matt just sent me a link to Untitled Goose Game. Has anyone heard of that? Is it good? It was a little quiet. Okay. Anyhow, back to work. Okay, so these are probably gonna fit here just like this, with some bubble wrap in like key areas to make sure that nothing gets crushed. Yeah, I think that's exactly how that's gonna go. Although that doesn't leave me a tremendous amount of space for the bras. Unless... So if all of the bra module pieces get unscrewed and placed here, kind of like English muffins. Like that. These aren't done being assembled, but I need to have an idea where they're gonna go. Okay, and the same thing goes for these ones. Let's see. Why do I feel like I have things crawling on me? Yikes. Propellers are probably going to need to be pulled off of these. Okay. There's these things, but just the booby part of the propellers can go there. And then the endless amount of bras actually might be able to go stacked in here too. Quite possibly. Other ones. Some of these. Could this cover? I think that would fit. Winch. Okay. Shooby-dooby. Shooby-dooby. Doo-wah-doo-wah. Shooby-dooby-dooby-doo. Shooby-dooby-doo. Doo-wah, doo-wah, doo-wah. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Noodle. So one of these might need to go someplace else. But there's that. Let's see. Almost perfect. Maybe here. Destroyed. Maybe one of these gets to go in this box. Box. Yeah, it'll fit just fine. Well, there you have it. Without bubble wrap or anything to like protect all the stuff, which I will definitely individually wrap every single piece that I just shoved in here in. This is, I guess it fits. Everything fit. It's in a box. It's all compartmentalized inside of there, and that was everything I needed to bring, except for these. That's gonna be a problem. Where am I gonna put those? Man. Annie, get your guns. Okay. I love my little calendar girl every day of the year. So at some point in the future, there's going to be a Sarah in a hotel room testing all of this stuff on the floor with her laptop and a power supply. Alright, so we almost had this. Very close, but no cigar. Damn. Okay. So that's gonna get a little bit more tricky. Tricky? Thinking. Stop things. This is like a game. It's like a Tetris game. Quite literally. So that bottom might need to get pulled out. Okay. Nothing is easy. This is for sure. But we're almost there. I think somebody just pulled up. I do not know. Maybe Mark is home. He can feed me. Feed me, Daddy. evil game of Tetris ever played. Okay. I hurt inside. I think if I just get rid of the boxes, everything would fit pretty well. But I'm gonna have to probably put a layer of cardboard at the bottom of my suitcase and at the top to make like an artificial layer of protection. Because while the walls of the suitcase have some support, the top and bottom are just sort of fabric, so I think the solution is really just either cutting 2 pieces of masonite, one for the top and one for the bottom, to kind of sandwich everything in between, and then just ditching this container and this container altogether. I think that's probably like the path of least resistance. Everything's gonna probably like stack on top of each other like this, and then small spaces like this are going to be where my power supply and battery go. It's not heavy though, at least. So yeah, everything's probably gonna end up getting individually wrapped. The other thing I'm probably not too excited to do, but will have to do, is unfasten all of these straps. Like, I don't think I can really get away with just laying them in here loosely. I think they're gonna get probably a bit more fucked up than I'm wanting, so those are probably all going to have to get undone, stacked, and then neatly labeled what goes to what so that I can reassemble them once I get there. Not super ideal, but I mean, it's probably not the end of the world either to have to do that there. It'll give me something to like, it'll give me a reason to hang out around the post city setting up for like a day. It shouldn't take too long either. I'm gonna kind of leave this here for just a moment and like let that sink in. Oh god, how are you guys doing? We can see our own. Not a whole lot has transpired. But yeah. I don't know, hopefully everybody's doing alright. I'm surviving. I guess. Oh my god, that light's harsh. It needs to go away. Where is your food? Off to the food. Okay. Sarah prefers darkness. Okay, so it looks like everything will fit in my suitcase. So if I switch back down to this, the 2 heart backpacks, the pulse backpacks, are stacked on top of one another with the racks filling up the negative space in that box on the very bottom. And then all the bras and the bra fixtures are sort of stacked in between them, I guess. The salmon and the butt winch are in the second Tupperware box thing, this thing, with one of the bras kind of tucked in there as well. I think that if I detach all of the bra straps, I can condense them a lot more and probably stack the bra fixtures on top of one another like I did the backpacks. And then I'm probably going to need to detach the propellers from the propeller screwy thingies too, and let those travel in their own separate like box or compartment because they're kind of fragile. Other than that, yeah, I think this is roughly how it's gonna look. I'm gonna have to ditch the containers though. I think what I'm gonna do now is go to the garage and see if I can find a big enough piece of cardboard for the top and bottom of my suitcase. Like I mentioned just a couple minutes ago, like I'm gonna probably need to create like an artificially like solid shell to protect everything from getting gouged. Because I'm thinking the thing I'm afraid of most is the corner of some other suitcase poking at the top or bottom, like the front or back of my suitcase, and then forcing pieces to kind of crunch up against each other and crack. I think so long as everything's wrapped in enough bubble wrap and they're in their own like non-dentable, non-distortable space, they'll probably fare just fine. I'm just, I want to make sure that, yeah, it really makes me wish I had a hard suitcase, like one of those hard shell suitcases. But yeah, I inherited these from my mom like a million years ago, so this is about as good as it's gonna get for now. At least Noodle got there safe. Like, if Shivan ends up becoming like a thing that I show at a bunch of different places, then, which I hope it does, it'll eventually in time get its own road case too, where everything can get kind of slotted in position as you do, but I'm not there yet. Not that Noodle's carrying case was too terribly expensive, and I think at the end of the day it's probably going to be well worth the money, because now I never have to worry about packing him or putting him together once I get to my destination ever again. Like, he's just like good to go. But yeah, this is roughly how that's gonna work out. But I'm not done with all that stuff, so I'm probably gonna pull those boxes out, move the suitcase, and then locate my bubble wrap, and then start faceting stuff that is finished in the bubble wrap, and then kind of slowly adding everything back in. But I don't know, I think I'm gonna take a break and eat something before then. I don't know. How is everybody doing? Okay. There's my microphone. I don't know, how's everybody's Friday? It's what now? It's like 3 o'clock? It's like the perfect time for... How long have I been streaming? Oh cool, only 2.5 hours. That's way better than 5, guys. I'm like, yes! I'm not streaming for like 100 years. I don't know. I think I might break for today. Like, if for whatever reason I start streaming again tomorrow and all of this is packed up, then you know that it happened the way that it ought to between now and tomorrow at some point in time, and that everything's alright. If that ends up being the case, I think tomorrow I'm going to stream those instructions that I was talking about yesterday. Like, I need to make Noodle Care, like a Noodle Care packet that works kind of like IKEA instructions, where like you just sort of look at the pictures and you can kind of discern how you're supposed to unfurl his legs and kind of set him on the pedestal. I don't know, I'm gonna have to draw, so that means I can take a load off and just sort of sit back and chill, and then I need to write out my schedule for going there, because I mentioned that needs to get verified. I need to know where I'm gonna be every day. God, I'm tired. This is such a cute power supply. It's like a little beat boo. It's a baby. I've never seen one this small before. That's what she said. So quaint and fucking tiny. Like, all the power supplies I've ever dragged around have been like those big, like, packs. Whatever footprint that is. I don't know if they come in like standard sizes. I know I haven't seen like a miniature power supply like that. Cute. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat. I have plums from like last Friday that are super ripe that I need to go attack. I need to go pounce on them like a rabid animal that I am. I don't know. My brain's like thinking of like 5 things at once right now. I'm sorry. Like I want to get this suitcase closed, but I also realize there's quite a bit of things that I need to work on that aren't done. Like I need to make that raw module. And then I need to install that part on my, oh, I can go check that actually. The mounting plate for the battery for the yellow backpack. Let me go check that. That might be something I can do real quick before I, like, quit the stream. I might be able to install the battery pack into the yellow. Be right back. Never mind. Print's got an hour and 20 minutes left yet. That's like a lot of time. Damn it. So I can't do that. Jesus, there's too much stuff everywhere. Okay, can't lose that. I did not put silicone tape on this bra yet, which I could do. If I felt so inclined. Inclined-ed. Okay, so this... Here, let me... There we go. Okay, so this thing... Wow, I have such a nice... clear and open desk space now. I'm digging it. So this thing was sort of the first bra. I'll just unfold these. This as the first bra has the LED strip in it, which I was using for reasons back in the day. I guess I can put tiny little segments in this. Where did I put the scissors? Ah. Okay. So I'm gonna slide that down. So I'm just adding silicone tape. It's like double-sided sticky tape to the inside of this bra in little segments. I'm not entirely confident that this is gonna work better than the way that was already implemented. I don't know if this stuff has like a set time or what the deal is, but whatever. The adhesive might get stronger the longer you let it sit. I don't know. Hopefully that's the case. I'm just excited for Mark to make his tacos tonight. And in all honesty. Ugh. And to sit in the pool one last time. Like, I think I might actually get in here as soon as I'm done kind of wrapping my head around how this packing business is gonna go. I'm probably going to jump in the kitty a little early, that way that once the guys show up I can kind of just, they can join me. We can get this party started. My boys. Chill with my boys in the Hamptons. I'll totally let you guys know on Twitter if they end up doing naughty whispers for my salmon box tonight. I'm hoping we all have at least a couple of beers, and then the night goes such a way that they feel comfortable whispering unusual sentences into a microphone for me later. It will be heard all over Linz by visitors from far and wide. It's more fun if your friends supply your naughty whispers for your salmon. That's what I always say. Should be good. Now can I pull the red shit off? Whoa. Oh my god, this is annoying. I'm trying to rip the stupid protective sheath off of the tape, and it will not go. There. Annoying. Every day in the life of a common desert-dwelling cyber artist. That be me. Ah. I'm curious when I know Tony said he got off early, so he might head over at any time starting now. Matt gets off at 6, which it's nowhere near 6 over here, Vegas time, so usually by the time Matt's here at like 6:30, that's like when the festivities officially start festivitying. But I don't know, I just want to get in the pool. Alright, let's not fuck this up now. Okay, so I'm sticking the LEDs to the double-sided tape. All seems to be going pretty well. That'll do. So long as it stays, that is. Yeah, the adhesive that comes on like LED strip is like really poor. Like it never has ever stuck to anything for me on any project I've used it in. I always end up having to use this of like Mark's is a whatever you'd call it. It does go below, doesn't it? What are the top ones for? I don't remember. Oh well. Doesn't matter. My brain is like sleepy. It's like, hey Sarah, you should probably go eat a food. Do you ever like know in a day that you're going to be having like a really good food that you crave but don't get to have very often? So you like intentionally starve yourself so that like you're ravenous by the time you're about to eat that food, and just like you stuff it into yourself like a glutton and you enjoy it twice as much. I mean, I know we have all-you-can-eat sushi here in Las Vegas, so like anytime we go to do a sushi night, everyone intentionally starves themselves all day in anticipation for this like massive sushi binge. But in like the hour or two leading up to us going to get the sushi, everyone is like miserable and hangry and like hating themselves for doing that. I guess in that instance, like the payoff is that you do get all you can eat sushi, so it's, you know, kind of worth saving yourself for. But I say I'm craving Mark's tacos, like I'm actually going to end up eating a whole bunch of them. Like for me, eating a lot of tacos is like 3. For the guys, like if they come here on a particularly hungry night, they'll eat like a stupid amount. And then they overfill them, because that's what happens when you're able to like actually stuff your own tacos. You just sort of like, you overflow them with like 500 toppings. Like way more meat than you need. Just pile that shit on. Fill that bitch up with sour cream. For me, like the ideal any sort of like taco confection is really just mostly sour cream and cheese anyway. It's like a Mexican pierogi or something. Do I want to tell that story? Of course I do. When I was on Mythbusters, on the day that they did the commercials, I guess, like the network came in on Saturday and Sunday, I think, over the weekend to film their commercials for the Mythbusters series that we were partaking in. They got Chipotle to cater the craft for lunch for all of the people doing the photography and the filming and the makeup and all that stuff. So they had like this buffet station set up with all of these like taco, you know, the Chipotle fixings, you know, the meat and the cheese and the salsas and everything, just like you'd see at a Chipotle. And I remember getting really excited because I was like, oh man, I never thought I'd have Chipotle catering. I can finally, you know, make my own burrito with as much of all of the stuff that I want, right? Like as much chicken as I want, as much like steak if I want it. I can put like all the cheese and all the sour cream. And I made this like horribly defunct, like disproportionate, like water bag. It was awful. And I was eating this like chicken, cheese, and sour cream burrito with beans in the courtyard, and it was like leaking down my hand, like literally, like I was eating this burrito like a heart, or like you see monkeys like in nature shows like eating fruit where they're just sort of like clenching it and it's like all over their face. And I was biting into this burrito and there's just sour cream leaking down my arms to like my elbow, and it was like dripping off of my elbow like onto the ground as I sat and ate it. And I was sitting there in this courtyard and no one was talking to me like during lunch because I was the creepy chick like fucking like beef fisting this liquid burrito by myself with like the ultimate food face, I'm sure. And I think, like, I realized what I was doing in that moment, and I looked around me at, like, everybody else who was kind of, like, very slyly kind of trying to, like, look over and see what the hell was going on with me, but kind of looking away, because they're like, oh man, that's really awkward. And I was like, this isn't gonna fare well for me. Like, I just felt it in that moment. That was, like, my fate sealed, was this burrito eating day. But I remember it. It was like one of those weird experiences where you realize exactly how socially awkward you actually are. And I'm not a clean eater by any means. Like, Mark and all the guys can attest to the fact that I am definitely a food face raptor. I definitely get whatever the hell it is I'm eating all over me, especially burritos. In spite of my best efforts not to do so, like I tend to end up with whatever I'm consuming all over my hands and face, and everything else for that matter. And my knowledge of this prevents me from eating in front of people I'm attracted to. I think it took me my entire life to kind of get over eating in front of people that I had crushes on or liked, or like, I don't know. So it's kind of like one of these secret tells, I guess. Like, if I'm sitting with you in a capacity to consume food and I'm not eating, I probably have some hang up about it. I'm like more self-conscious than I ought to be. And I want to say as an adult, like, I've kind of gotten over that, but not entirely. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have a lot of really weird eating habits. Not really habits, they're just things that I do in the context of eating that I guess other people don't do. So that makes it weird. And if Matt were standing behind me, he'd be like very shamelessly going down a list. Because he lived with me. He's the actual first person to live with me in like a adult context, I guess. So he knows all of my weird habits before I was able to like kick most of them, such as it is. Matt. Alright, so that goes like this. Chipotle sounds really good right now, by the way. I don't think there's a time I don't crave a Chipotle burrito. Or wouldn't have one, for that matter. Or it could just be the fact that I've been starving myself intentionally all day, and any type of food at this point is starting to sound pretty fantastic. There. This part is done too. Yay! That's another thing down that I needed to get done. All right. Now I can very slowly and deliberately start pulling all this stuff out. Cool. Hopefully I didn't bork any of this. I believe the analog entity. They still had onion containers at the container store when I was there the other day. Which means that if I wanted to make more glow dome boobies, which why wouldn't I can still go there and get them, which makes me quite happy. Because they were clearancing them out the last time, like way at the beginning of this year, in March or something, March or April, back when I first made these propeller boobs, which like the summer went by so incredibly fast. Like March, April, and May was pretty much, those were the months I made. Like March was POV pasties, April was pinwheel pasties, March, April, and then May was the suck choker. And then by the time I got to June, July, and August, it was all just Noodle's legs forever. Like his new leg design, and then kind of preparing everything else for the thing that I'm doing now, or I'm about to do. Which doesn't feel like a lot. I guess it was just preparing everything I'd already made for exhibition, which is... it's a feat in and of itself. Interesting. I don't know why they're doing that. I will ask Mark. Weird. Alright, you go there. The other question is, can I actually get the other question is whether or not I can get both of these suck chokers to fit in this container. I think I kind of decided ahead of time that the only thing that would get a dedicated container would in fact be the chokers, because they're silicone and they have a tendency to want to get really dirty, which I don't like. But I'm not entirely sure how well they're gonna fit in here. Maybe just one will fit. Yeah, I think I was wearing this at DEF CON, and I like unceremoniously like dispatched it from my body onto my friend's coffee table in their room, and then dragged it home in that form, and that's sort of it. That was it. I haven't addressed the state that it's in since. Because these all did get a little bit twisted. Oh no. How? That all got super twisted. What? I don't even know how that happened. Interesting. Okay, so I have to undo the tape. That's okay. Okay. That is for ease of entry, if there is such a thing. Same thing here, except these ones don't look so critically screwed up. Alright. There we go. Okay, so these will not fit both. Alright. Fair enough. One will probably fit if I am good. So I either go and get another one of these containers, or I just throw the other one in a bag. Which I suppose I'm not entirely opposed to either. I'm just curious if we were just at the place where the container store was. Ugh. But Mark was saying we should go back to Fry's for something earlier, and I don't remember what the hell that was. Because the container store is where Fry's is. Alright, so that's one suck choker. Pretty decently stowed. Okay, so I need another one of these boxes for the other one. I'm sad that these aren't port and starboard anymore. I don't know why that one's blinking. God damn it. Ah, plums. I was gonna go eat plums. Oh god. Hey guys. Hey Vi! And yes, Polisqualis, we used to have, or we still have, all you can eat sushi. With bad enough internet. Yes. Hello gamer, I am totally a gamer. Is murder on the table? I don't think murder's ever on the table. Containers? I don't have containers. But we have a place here called the Container Store. So do you have in where you're from, Vi, do you have the Container Store? It's like a chain, I know that. But it's like one of my favorite weird additions to my life within the past like 5-6 years. They're kind of pricey, like that little container right there for the suck choker was like $8 or $9, but they're kind of the only thing in this project that I'm kind of gonna be weird about keeping clean, because they're like silicone, like once it gets dusty and like hairs and shit on it, it gets like really gross looking, and I kind of want to avoid my neck getting, I don't know, like wearing a thing on my neck that looks like it's been all over the floor. So I'm going to try my best to make sure that it stays ungunked. So I might go back and get another one of those. I could always just throw everything in like a plastic bag. I'm sure that would probably be good enough, but I don't know. Those weird me out because they're like white silicone and they have a bunch of like wires and tubes coming out of them, and I don't want those to get sort of screwed up and mixed around either. But yeah, it sucks that you don't have a Container Store. I don't know, it's like a fun place. Like I call it like my go-to shape store. Like most of the housings for my projects are just, I don't know, if I need like a light diffuser or something to put, like make a robot part out of, that's my go-to destination. And like definitely before I had access to a 3D printer, that was like where all of my robot parts came from. It was like Tupperware Omega. Tupperware Boneyard. You could pick through, make stuff out of everything. Oh man, my stomach. My stomach's like, you need to eat some food, bitch. Go put some food in me. Quit holding out for tacos. It's only 3:30. You've got like at least another 3 hours to go before tacos are even like on the table. Taco table. So yeah, my guys aren't gonna be here for a minute. Let's message them and see what is up. And Mark's not home yet. Amazingly. He's been away like forever. Oh, that's right. Man, I wish you were here for like today's Friday too. It's the last kiddie pool of the season, and we're doing Mark's tacos for like the kickoff of the fall, I guess. This is fall season now. And we haven't done them in a while for some reason. Mark also made Loco Moco for the first time recently, and it was pretty fantastic. So that's like a new thing that's on our list of like stuff Mark makes that's amazing. Oh, somebody's here. Whose car is that? That's Mark's car. Okay, Mark is home. With food, I hope. My stomach's like, go eat, please. We will feed your spirit tacos, Vi. I wish you could get in the pool with us and eat tacos. It's like, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be relaxing. I kind of just want to like, be social and not watch movies, but I don't know. We all behave better if we watch movies. We don't argue as much. So I think that's the new format for movie night. I wonder what he got. My motor driver is one of those things, so at least I have that, like, to, like, solder together now, I guess. Hey! Hey, baby! What'd you get? Oh.
You still online?
Yeah. Batteries.
There. We got
Girl.
a little supply.
Batteries are a girl's best friend.
Got me some gloves.
Hardy
It's
gloves.
gonna be a long time without you, so.
Ooh. You're gonna have some
Fake
fun.
light switch. Check it out.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You can stick it up, and then it's a light switch.
Oh, it's a fake. Noodle says it's his fake tongue
This is
bun.
the coupon, the free one.
Oh, you got the coupon light? I'm so hungry, I need to eat something.
Right.
Did you pick up my pillow? No!
It's in the car.
Oh god, you scared me. I was like, no!
I forgot to take my thing to the post office though.
Oh shit.
So I'm going out again.
No!
I have to buy cilantro at the store anyways. Yeah, oh, it's here. I thought I put it near the door.
What?
My
Oh.
envelope for the post office. Alright.
Bad pizza.
Tende customer order.
Okay, so I staged everything in my suitcase,
Right?
and I can't put anything in separate containers because it will not fit. So what I'm gonna need to do is go to the garage with you and get a piece of cardboard or masonite or something that can go on the bottom and the top so that there's like protected, and then everything
Okay.
will just get wrapped
wanna
in bubble
make
wrap.
Liners, okay.
Yeah, because the top and bottom don't have like any structure to them. So
Alright, you might put cut down some poster.
nothing. You didn't close it though.
Cut some poster tubes.
Yeah.
The length. And maybe glue those to the bottom masonite so that when you get pressure, those are pillars and your stuff won't get. Otherwise, your shit's still gonna get compressed like a sandwich.
Mm.
So I would insert those in like a few places so that as luggage gets stacked, your stuff doesn't get crushed.
compressed. Good idea.
It'll help keep crushing.
Because I tried to fit everything in this
The
box, and it like
Just almost.
almost, but like not.
Yeah.
I need like to not have to. Yeah.
You can also zigzag cardboard sideways and then run it through, and then that acts as a like an I-beam to this stuff. So.
Yeah, but I can't partition it the way I wanted to partition it, which sucks.
Or you roll it around things as giant tubes. You can put different size tubes and put things in the tubes, but then they form structures that at least the middle, because I think the sides, yeah, it's gonna still want to compress a little bit, but yeah, you're gonna want some structure in there.
All right.
There. I'm gonna go back because I'm trying to get stuff done.
Okay, I'm gonna go eat food. I'm gonna go eat blue cheese with a spoon like a monster.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna go jump into the kiddie pool and like sink down into the ocean blue and forget about all the stuff that I need to get done in my impending doom. A tube? No. Alright. Take care, guys. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for hanging out while whatever the hell I just did happened. I'm almost there. Hopefully, if I'm able to, I can actually stream like the day that I show up and have to take all this out of my luggage at wherever I'm staying, wherever that is. I don't even know. Mark, I can stream unpacking all of this.
There you go.
Thank you.
Hold on.
I have to do that too. It's another thing I have to do. Alright, kids. Enjoy your Friday and whatever that entails. Tacos or no tacos. And I will see you tomorrow, because I will be around working towards the same goal. Just trying to get everything in order. So yeah. Thank you. Keep making awesome stuff out there.